I don't care how you define success. This is the most successful I've ever been in my career as Matt Cardona.
There are fans that aren't even aware of the work you did as Zack Ryder.
Sure.
Because of what you've done as Matt Cardona.
On the flip side, there are fans that have no idea what I'm doing now, but I don't blame them. Zack Ryder set me up for Matt Cardona. That Intercontinental title, I'm grateful for it.
What a moment that was.
It was my WrestleMania moment that I will never forget.
What do you think was missing from your WWE run that you have now?
In WWE, you could
Full circle with Adam Copeland. That was cool.
career highlight for sure. That was my dream match before I even got into the business.
If you got offered a contract from AEW, would you take it?
I don't want to be... I still have a great relationship with AEW.
You are the complete Matt Cardona now.
I am.
What is the complete?
It means so many things. I looked the part, I wrestled the part, I talked the part. Everything wrapped into one is the complete Matt Cardona.
All right, I am pumped to announce the date of our next live show. We're doing Insight Live on Friday, June 6th, the day before Money in the Bank in Los Angeles. And I love how we did Lakers colors with this graphic here. Grab your tickets now at cvvtix.com. That's cvvtix.com. And I can't wait to see you there.
See you again.
Good to see you, man.
Back in LA.
That's right. I've been here in Cali all week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff with TNA.
Yeah, we had the big pay-per-view Sunday. Chelsea's dad lives in Palm Desert, so I was there for a couple days. Then the Impact tapings, and then I got GCW tonight. Did Universal Studios last night, so I've been here all week.
Last night, not like during the day?
No, at night. So we had TNA in Irvine.
Yeah.
I only had to do a
I was
pre-tape.
there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Night 2, you weren't there.
No, you didn't see me? What if I was
you were there?
No, I wasn't
well,
there.
I only had a pre-tape, which is good and bad. Good because I got to leave and head on over to Universal. They have this, I think it's called like Fan Nights or something like that. And Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies, that's where they filmed it, on the back lot.
Yes.
And they recreated the Hill Valley. So like your
clock tower, right? I've seen
there.
this. Oh,
the DeLorean.
so jealous.
Einstein, there's a real dog there.
Great Scott.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I have to do this. It's only for a limited time, a couple of weeks. I'm giving this plug to Universal. I hope I get paid. Come on, Universal. Give me a VIP tour to Orlando or something.
What do you mean one of your favorite movies? It is my all-time favorite
It's in my
movie.
top 5, for sure.
What do you have a number one?
Oh, man. I think I just have 5, and depending on the day, the order can change.
Do you want to throw a few out?
Oh, man. Back to the Future. Ghostbusters.
Okay.
The original Star Wars New Hope. Monster Squad, and Home Alone.
Well, you knew those
That's
5 pretty good.
I mean, if you ask me tomorrow, it might be a different list. But today, right here,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, Back to the Future for me, number 1, and then everything else.
That's fair.
Kind of
I
after
think it's
that.
a perfect movie.
I do too.
There's nothing you can cut. No fluff.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny. It has heart.
Oh my God.
And there's like a real like story in it, like a real meaning. Like
I almost cried last night in the back lot. I'm like, this is Hill Valley. That's the clock tower. This is where Marty drove the DeLorean 88 miles an hour. I was right there.
And now I need to go
You
now.
gotta go tonight.
I can't go tonight. I got two young
It
kids.
closed at 2 o'clock.
Well, what
Put them to sleep. By the time I got there,
by
it was like
myself? Will you go with me? Oh, you got
I can't. I'm out of here. I got there at 9 last night. Stay till 2. Easy. Put the kids to bed.
I could actually
You
do
could
that.
do it.
But the thing about having kids, Matt, is
Call a babysitter.
you wake up at 6 a.m.
Sure.
whether you like it or not, or
Right.
5:30 a.m. whether you like it or not. Your kids don't care if you went to bed at 9
Right.
or 2 in the morning.
I get it. Well, I don't have kids yet. Just dogs and cats. So
Well, you have like a whole farm full of them.
we got a zoo.
What
We
the
got a
heck?
zoo. Yeah.
We were going to do this interview in December. And you're like, I'm in town for this GCW show on December 11th. I'm like, that is my son's due date. He might come early.
Yeah.
And if he arrives early, we can do the interview. He ended up arriving late. So
That was a good GCW show. You missed that one. It was good. Jericho did that run-in, attack.
Yes.
For our big Hammerstein ballroom match.
what was funny was Jericho did the run and like, who could this be? And then you look at his shoes and you're like, it's very clearly
Gotta give
Chris
it away.
Jericho. Like not a lot of other people in
Yeah.
wrestling.
Nobody can pull that off. Only Jericho.
That is true.
That's right.
Well, because he has that blend of like, he is a superstar in the ring.
Yes.
He is a rock star on
He's
the stage. Of course, he'd be wearing those shoes.
There's a reason he's still on top after all these years.
Well, it's reinvention.
Absolutely.
He just keeps figuring out new versions of himself.
I look up to him in that sense. I mean, like, he is you look up reinvention in the dictionary, Chris Jericho's face is there, and then maybe mine.
Well, it's amazing that like what you've done now, there's probably fans out there that aren't even aware of the work you did as Zack Ryder
Sure.
because of what you've done as Matt
Absolutely.
Cardona.
Also, on the flip side, there are fans that have no idea what I'm doing now. And I'm at WrestleCon like, where you been, Zach? Well, all over the world for the past 5 years.
Do people say that?
Yeah, but I don't blame them, because I was the biggest, the times have changed, yes, but I was the biggest wrestling fan growing up. Like, I didn't watch indie wrestling. It was different then. Like, there was no internet, there was no streaming stuff. So I get some people just watch WWE and that's fine.
So they come up to you and say, man, when are we going to see you wrestle again?
Yeah, stuff like that.
And you're like, I
always
wrestled yesterday.
Right, exactly. Like I always get, when are you going to come back to WWE? I get that all the time. But sometimes it's like, where have you been since WWE? I'm like, don't you see all these 8x10s? Don't you see all these bloody pictures, these titles, all these moments? But I don't hold it against them.
So at a signing, what is the percentage of Zack Ryder autographs and Matt Cardona autographs?
I think it's like 75 Matt, 25 Zack.
Okay.
And I get it. Like I was, Zack Ryder set me up for Matt Cardona. So like I have no problem signing a Zack Ryder 8x10 or an action figure. Like that Intercontinental title picture, that 8x10, I've made thousands of dollars signing that. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, what a moment that was.
Yes.
That's
have we ever talked about that?
That moment, I think we got like millions of views when we talked about that moment.
It's one of those things that, we don't have to rehash it, but no writer wrote that story. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't supposed to be in that match. I ended up winning the Intercontinental title. I took a picture with Scott Hall afterwards holding my Intercontinental title. He held mine because years earlier, I was at WrestleMania 10. I watched him in a ladder match win the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And then months later, I took a picture holding his. It's like storybook stuff.
Yeah.
It's real life. That's what's so crazy. But it's all real. And then my dad hops the barricade, for real. Gives you a big hug.
Did you wave him in?
No. Ziggler waved him in. In the moment, I was so pissed. He tries to put that damn cowboy hat in my head. But I mean, it was my WrestleMania moment. It's a moment that I will never forget.
What do you think was missing from your WWE run that you have now?
Man, I would have loved the opportunity to show the different side, the heel side, if you will. But in WWE, like you could pitch all day. They're not necessarily going to do it. On the independents, I can do whatever I want, right?
Yeah.
So I organically turned heel, so to speak, on the indies. And I'm so comfortable in that role. I love that the fans hate me. Now I think they're starting to love to hate me, which is fine too, because they're still buying my merch. But, I've said this a million times. I needed to get fired to find myself, so I don't even want to say blessing in disguise. It was just a blessing. Like I needed to get fired to find myself.
There is so rarely a through line in independent wrestling. Like you can work as a baby face on Saturday, go to another town on Sunday, you're working as a heel. How have you been able to find that through line?
Man, because like just social media. And like I said earlier, like independent wrestling 10 years ago, like if it happened in New Jersey, it happened that night in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Now it's streaming. People can watch it all over the world. And then I'm posting about it all week leading up to the match, promoting it, and all week after showing off what I did. So I'm forcing it down people's throats.
But there's also, you have to go in with the assumption that the crowd that is right here in Santa Ana, California may have no idea what you did last week.
I learned that from William Regal a long time ago. Every time you walk through the curtain, you have to pretend that they don't know who you are. And I tell it to guys and girls in the indies all the time. Like you can't think like, oh, they watched that cell phone promo you cut. You know what I'm saying? You need to like reintroduce yourself and tell that story in the ring.
So what does that look like?
I mean, for me, it's just so easy because like I'm this chicken shit heel. It's as simple as like ding, ding, ding. Like we're about to lock up. I just roll out of the ring. It's just easy stuff like that I feel like these bad guys now, they don't want to be uncool. I have no problem being uncool, you know? And then you tell that, so there's other things I can do throughout the match or even just subtle things on the entrance. Some things can be very cheap, like for instance, like putting out your hand for a high five, taking it away. I mean, ripping up a sign like that's, it's kind of easy. That's like, it's just right in front of you stuff, but you got to be smart. Every crowd's different.
You are the complete Matt Cardona.
I am.
What is the complete?
Well, so I was the indie god, the deathmatch king, and then I tore my pec, which sucked. There's no good time to get injured, but that certainly was not a good time to get injured. I was about to, as crazy as it sounds, celebrate my 4 years of being released from WWE. I filmed this whole hype video, and I got hurt like the Saturday before. I'm like, shit, just tore my pec because like I knew I'd be fine like work-wise because like people bring me in to cut promos. I ended up being the general manager of GCW. So I was fine money-wise. But being out, like, I can't just come back wearing that crown or the indie god hat again. I needed like a fresh coat of paint, so to speak. So I was just thinking of all these ideas and like, it just hit me like the complete, like, it means so many things. Like the total package, like Lex Luger, like I can do it all. I looked the part, I wrestled the part, I talked the part, or the complete, like everything that led to this point in my career, whether it be the Major Brothers or the YouTube Broski stuff or winning the IC title or getting fired, then the Deathmatch King, the indie, got everything wrapped into one, is the complete Matt Cardona.
And maybe this is going to get too deep with this idea, but do you feel complete in your career?
No, but I'm always grateful, but I'm never like satisfied, if that makes sense. Like, of course, I'm if it ended today, I'm very grateful what happened in my career. 21 plus years getting paid to live my dream. But I have a lot more goals that I want to accomplish.
Do you think about this big birthday that's right around the corner for you?
Oh, why'd you bring it up?
I just had it recently.
Yeah.
Do you think about what turning 40 means for you?
It's so different than it was 10 years ago. You know, I don't feel like I'm 40. I feel like I'm 25. And luckily, my body still feels that way because I've wrestled a certain style. Maybe some of the smart marks don't like it, but I'm wrestling the same way I wrestled when I was 25. And I feel like I can go another 10, maybe 15 years. I don't feel 40. I don't look 40. I certainly don't act 40. But, you know, check my license. I'm about to be 40.
What about personally? Like, do you feel like you've done everything you want to do up to this point?
No, I mean, listen, Chelsea and I want to start a family, but that, you know, our careers are thriving right now, especially hers.
Yeah.
So there's no time to press the pause button. And there's so much I want to accomplish in wrestling, in the other side business I have. But yeah, I really feel like I haven't hit my prime yet. Maybe I'm being a little delusional, maybe optimistic, but I feel like I got a lot left to thank.
You put out this really interesting tweet the other day.
So which one?
WWE announced another round of releases.
Yes.
And you said to everybody who just recently got released, you've got 3 options.
That's right.
For anyone who didn't see the tweet, do you want to go through that?
I'm paraphrasing it, but it was like you have 3 options, right? Like you can, one, like fade into obscurity, feel bad for yourself, have a pity party, never be seen again, or like be delusional with your prices and never get booked again. You know what I'm saying? Or you can coast off your WWE name. And I don't just mean your literal name. I mean the fact that you were in WWE. Just coast off that, do a couple indies here and there, you know, like some autographs signed, and you probably do that forever, right? Or the one I chose, work your ass off, reinvent yourself, have a lot of, can I curse here?
Of course.
Have a lot of fucking fun and make a lot of fucking money. And you have 3 options. You choose. It's not, the third one's not easy, but it's possible.
Which bucket do you think most people fall into?
Man, I think history shows that they fall into number 2.
Yeah.
Just coasting. And that's unfortunate. You know, it's not easy out there on the independents, especially because a lot of these guys and girls don't know what it's like to do the independents. I didn't, you know, like, and I had to just dive in head first and I had to teach myself. And of course, like I stole things from Cody, from Drew McIntyre, the guys who had left and had, you know, made their names even bigger. But then I created my own blueprint.
It feels like there has to be like this ego death that happens because you're going from 10,000, 15,000.
Oh my God.
WrestleMania, maybe it's 60, 70,000.
These guys and girls are making the most money like ever.
Sure.
Right? They ain't making that on the indies, pal.
Right. So you have to go from tens of thousands of people in the audience to
sometimes tens. Hopefully not, but sometimes tens of people.
Sure.
Yeah.
What does that do to your confidence, to your ego?
Man, I think you just got to embrace it. And I mean, yes, I called myself the indie god and I had all these titles and I wore the stupid Indiana Jones hat, but I really embraced the grind. Like when I was doing those push-ups, like for instance, tonight, I'm going to GCW, Ukrainian Cultural Center. I talk about it. The locker room is an alley. But instead of bitching and moaning, like when I'm doing push-ups out there on the street, you know, or pissing in between the 2 dumpsters, like I'm like, this is it, baby. Here we go. You know, I'm not doing it with a boo-boo face. I'm doing it with a smile. It's all like your outlook and your perception.
But where does that come from? Because it'd be so easy to be like, I'm not where I was
I'm forcing
before.
myself to be positive. I'm not naturally positive. I don't wake up like, today's a great day. No, I wake up and like, oh, that glass is half empty naturally. And I have to force and condition myself to be positive.
Is all of this of like, I'm going to impress somebody at WWE. I'm going to get back there.
I've said this a million times. Like when I got released, it wasn't like, what can I do to get back to WWE or get to AEW? It's what can I do to prove myself right? And oh my God, even saying that again and again and again for 5 years, I've been saying that. I don't want to prove people wrong. I want to prove myself right and my fans right. It makes me sick saying it because I feel like I've said it so many times, but it's the truth. And I feel like I have. But man, like, what else do I need to do to get back there? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got released 5 years ago.
Yes.
And if we're being honest here, Are you surprised you haven't been re-signed?
Honestly, yeah. But obviously, I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. Listen, people say to me all the time, especially like we just had WrestleMania, WrestleCon. Thousands of people at WrestleCon, probably every other fan, if not every fan, when are you coming back? Well, it's up to me, or at the WrestleMania hotel. Thanks, Chelsea, for letting me stay in her hotel room for free. All save me some money. Thanks, babe.
Found Blue, right?
Yeah, great hotel.
Beautiful.
Great steakhouse, too. But so many people from the office or other wrestlers like, hey, man, when are you coming back? It's like, I don't know. I've reached out many times. I shouldn't say many, a few times. Every couple of months when something cool happens or I have something to say, hey, look what I'm doing. There's been no offer. So
do they write you back?
Of course, yeah. But there's no offer. Everything's very nice, professional, but there's no offer. And you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to keep working my ass off.
What if they said, we'd love for you to do a one-off spot at the Rumble, but you got to be Zack Ryder?
I've had gear ready every single year.
Okay.
So this is the truth. So I always have gear. I'm always ready. I always have gear, right? Where it has where the trunks are like the same, but the knee pads are interchangeable to ZR or an MC. So like whatever one I am,
So you wouldn't be opposed to being Zack Ryder?
It's not my first choice.
Okay.
I think Zack Ryder's dead, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Zack Ryder set me up for Matt Cardona. But I mean, obviously WWE thought Zack Ryder was dead. They fired me 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And my Matt Cardona name, I feel like I've done these interviews for 5 years, right? And again, this is like, how many times have I said this? But I don't care how you define success, money, accolades, happiness. This is the most successful I've ever been in my career as Matt Cardona. But it's because Zack Ryder and WWE set me up for that.
Do you make more money now, every year,
yes,
than you did in your best year in WWE?
100%.
That was a lot of yeses.
But also, little asterisk, like the WWE guys now and girls, they have those big deals. I didn't have those giant deals. So if I got released now, making some of the, making some of those people are making, maybe I wouldn't be making the same amount of money. But for what I was making then, yes, I'm making more now. But it's a crumbs make crumb cake situation. It's the wrestling, it's the podcast, it's the conventions, the autograph signings, the pro wrestling tees, the figure business. It's everything all combined.
Yeah, you have, what is it, 5 businesses?
Well,
is it?
Technically 3 businesses. I've Always Ready Inc., which is...
Is that what it's called? That's great.
Always Ready Inc., which is the wrestling. I have the Major Wrestling Viewer podcast and Major, the toy company. So technically 3 businesses.
And so at the
3
end...
business credit cards.
Yeah.
So it's a real business.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your books must just be a mess.
I got a guy. Yeah.
It's been amazing seeing what Chelsea's been doing.
Oh, it's the best. The best.
Yeah. How do you feel as a proud husband?
Oh my God. So proud of her. Like I'm her biggest fan, rooting her on. Like I get all she doesn't care about the merch. I got all her trading cards, all her action figures, all her shirts. I'm super proud of her. It's the best watching, because I knew when she got released the first time, like they missed the boat, and she was killing it on the indies. And when she got the call to go back, she had to go back.
There's something different this time around with her.
I think it's just opportunity.
Yeah.
She's always had the talent, but she didn't get the opportunity. And that's fine. Not everyone always gets an opportunity. But she did this time around, and she is making the most of it, whether it's a match or a little backstage, or, if she's not on, she's filming something for social media. She gets it.
She's the epitome of that phrase you always hear in wrestling, maximize your minutes.
Maximize your minutes, baby.
Like if she has 20 seconds in a backstage promo worth 6 other people,
yes,
you'll remember that Chelsea Green was there.
I say this all the time. I tell this to the people on the indies when they ask for advice. It's not about the moves. It's about the moments. When you think about it that way, I'm not saying have a bad match.
Yeah.
I'm not saying purposely go out and shit the bed. But the people remember the moments. And yes, some matches, but it's because the moments in those matches, not necessarily the moves in those matches.
Yeah, it's that, I've said this a few times now, but I think it was Nigel McGuinness who sat here and said, wrestling is what happens in between the moves.
Sure.
And it's like, that is so, I've never heard it said better.
I like that.
And it's the idea of like, yeah, you can do this move, followed by this move, followed by this move. But how do you tie it together?
Absolutely.
And how does that make you feel something?
Like Rock Hogan, right? Arguably the best match of all time, right?
Oh, we could talk all day about it.
If you have 2 indie guys, random guys, do that match, move for move at some random show, it's going to be the worst match ever. But the people were invested in those 2 men, those 2 characters, the story. So yes, they did moves, but it's the moments.
Yeah. Did you almost buy the Women's United States Championship?
Almost buy it.
Why didn't
I already bought it?
Why didn't this become a thing?
Because I did it with the tag team title,
Which is exactly the way people were expecting you to do it with this.
That's why I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I did it once. Am I gonna do it again? No. But I did buy it. I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I already did it. I don't like doing the same thing twice.
Were you close to doing this?
Well, yeah, I told you I bought it. So as close as you get. I still have it. Maybe I'm gonna do it.
It's funny because when you talk about stuff like this, it comes down to, for this, like, why do you still care so much about your indie appearances? Because there are a lot of people who, and you know them, we're not going to name names here, they just phone it in.
I love this. I love pro wrestling. Yes, it is my job, and I'm so grateful that it's paid the bills for 21 years. I never had a real job in my life. I worked at a deli, slicing meats, stealing Nesquiks to get the protein. Worked at a pizza place. I was a personal trainer at Gold's Gym with no clients, and a pro wrestler. So this is my life. I'm living the dream, man. Whether it's wrestling or talking about wrestling figures or designing and producing wrestling figures, I love wrestling. My whole life, I've been obsessed with it. So yes, there are certainly some indie shows where I'm thinking what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm still getting paid, I'm still getting the money, but I'm like, it's the middle of nowhere. The travel sucked to get here. There's nobody out there. What the fuck? Then there's indie shows like tonight. It's going to be awesome. GCW. The venue sucks, but the atmosphere in that venue is amazing. The fans are rabid. I haven't been in GCW in 4 months. I know they're going to hate me. They're going to scream fuck Cardona or we want Chelsea. It's going to be just awesome. I just have so much fun doing it.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Does it work? Well, find out for yourself. They're making it so easy. Your first month is free when you use the code CVV at BlueChew.com. Just sign up there at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part is this is all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. They say there's nothing sexier than confidence. Well, Blue Chew gives you the confidence where it really counts. Make life easier by getting harder. And discover your options at BlueChew.com. Like I said, they've got a special deal going on right now for anybody watching this. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free with the code CVV. You just have to pay $5 for shipping. That's code CVV. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and all of the important safety information. And a big thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the show.
When you get pitched for a booking, if they meet your rate, is that it? You're going to do it?
If I have the date free and they meet my rate, I'm in.
That's it.
That's it.
You don't look at
Don't give a shit. And this is my problem. I have an old school, not old school, but I have a paper calendar. I'm the internet champion, but I don't use the calendar on my phone. I have a paper calendar. So if someone hits me up with a date and I have it free, I say, listen, I love money. I love wrestling, Chelsea Green, and money.
I feel like those are your three things you're grateful for.
No, well...
You just end the interview right there.
But, the good shows, the bad shows, in all seriousness, I learn from all of them. I think when you stop learning, you stop growing. So, I learn from every opponent I'm in the ring with, whether they've been wrestling the same amount as me, more than me, 2 weeks. I'm always trying to learn something or pick something apart from that match that I can continue on and carry forward with.
Where does this paper calendar exist?
It's in my backpack.
Oh, it's on you.
It's always on me. Yeah, it's in my backpack right now. It's a Mickey Mouse calendar. Bobby Roode and Myers and Ziggler, they don't like it. They make fun of me.
Actual Mickey Mouse?
It's a Mickey Mouse calendar. Every month is a different, Mickey Mouse.
This is amazing. This is incredible.
I'm 40.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. 39 yet.
Yeah, 39 for a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Well, our birthdays are 5 days apart.
Wow, well, happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday to you as well.
Man.
On May 19th. Don't say that date to Kane.
Don't bring up Kane around me, pal.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What do you wish you were told about indie wrestling when you got into it? Because you've been the guy. Everyone comes to you now. When people get released, you're a text or phone call away. And
you know how many I got yesterday?
Mm.
And I take pride in that, actually. Some people knew me, some people don't know me. Some people reached out and said, thank you for that post. It really lit a fire into my ass. When I got into the indies, first of all, when I get fired, pandemic just starts. The world is unknown. there's nowhere, you can't wrestle. There are no indies.
Yeah.
And then maybe eventually there were some like outside with social distancing and masks. I'm like, I can't do that. Can't be my first wrestling, after being in WWE. So, we talked about a cup of coffee at AEW at the time. I did some TNA stuff or Impact. That's where I got my feet wet again, and got comfortable again. Started actually wrestling again because, I do stuff I get fired in April, do the AEW stuff in July, I believe, or August. And then I don't wrestle again until January. And then the world opens up again, like March or April the next year. And that's when I just dive headfirst into the indies and just, here we go. Like, I'm going to be the guy. I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out.
So when you do get that text from a recently released friend or colleague, what do you tell them?
Well, I mean, some people are very toyetic, so I add them to the major toy line.
Oh, we're going to see a Braun Strowman action figure. Okay, great.
There's some people that I recommend to other promoters, or I don't know all the answers. Obviously, I don't, because I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm not in WWE, right? So I don't know all the answers, right?
But you know all the answers.
I know how to make money.
When it comes to indie wrestling, you should have an online course about this.
I should actually.
Yeah.
No, but listen, I'm not a gatekeeper. If anybody, whether they're released or still or never got to WWE, I will answer any question they have. I'm not saying it's the right answer. It's just what has worked for me,
I think what's worked for you is you have treated this like a business.
Well, it is a business. It ain't show friends, it's show business.
But I think there's a lot of people that if you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay like a hobby.
Right.
Treat it like a business, it's going to pay like a business.
Sure.
You are one of the few independent wrestlers who treat it like it's a business.
Right.
You're probably one of the very few that has an LLC or an incorporation.
Always Ready Inc.
Always Ready Inc. You're probably one of the few.
Right.
Where did that come from?
Man, I'm just so passionate about this. I love it. This consumes my brain 24/7. Like when I was in WWE, listen, highs and lows, right? Well documented. And I think I invented the passive aggressive tweet about your spot. You know what I'm saying? I think I invented that, which I'm not proud of, but so many people have copied it since. But I realized one day, like I said, I'm not a naturally positive person, but I'm like, listen, what? I can't be miserable at work because it's not, changing my spot, and it's certainly not making me happier at home. So what can I control? How can I shift my mindset? And I realized, okay, what can I control in this WWE environment? I control my gear, right? I can always look like a star. I can always treat it like it's WrestleMania, whether it's a house show or Raw or main event, whatever those shows are called, right? I can control my physique. No one's going to say you can't be in the best shape possible. And I can control my attitude. I can always come in with a smile, whether it's forced or not, right? And just be in a good mood and a good attitude. And those are the three things I could control. I would try my best. And if things worked out, they worked out. If they didn't work out, I tried my best. I did the things I could control. Now in the indies, I fucking control everything.
Yeah.
I literally control every little thing. So my mind doesn't stop. It's always going. I wake up in the middle of the night, take a piss, I'm thinking about wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking about it. And not everything's going to work. There's been so many failures that I've done on the indies, but I just pivot and I learn from those things and I grow from those things.
Isn't it kind of nice though, that when it doesn't work on the indies, it's only in front of this group of people?
Sure. Also, it's things that it could be merch ideas that I spent thousands of dollars on thinking they're going to be a huge success and they don't work. And I'm like, oh shit.
What's the biggest merch flop?
Oh, biggest merch flop. I made Burger King style deathmatch king crowns. I thought for sure these are going to sell $5-10 at the gimmick table. But I had to buy thousands of them because I created what the mold of my crown looks like. So it was unique. Bro, towards the end, I was giving them away.
Do you have any left?
I have none left.
Okay.
But I was giving them away. I made my money back, but I thought I'd be rich off these fucking crowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not.
So that one, not
didn't
so
work
much.
out. Didn't work out.
Were there ever times in WWE when, those are the three things you can control.
Right.
Did anyone ever go, hey, stop, dial it back a little bit?
No.
Did you ever get in trouble for, when you were doing,
No, continue. I'm sorry.
Did you ever get in trouble for going out of your way to do things like when you were, you made yourself the internet champion?
Listen, I
Your
hate
YouTube
to
channel.
say, I'm never going to be one of those guys that say they buried me for doing this or that. I always want to blame myself. So during that time, listen, I went from the beginning of the year, 2011, nobody. Started a YouTube show, end of the year, I'm US champion, teaming with Cena on Raw. The Rock's returns, they're chanting for me over The Rock, right? The next year, kid push up the stage in a wheelchair barricade. Now, is that being buried? I don't want to cop out and say that. I could have went, knocked on Vince McMahon's door and said, hey, what's going on here? I didn't do that. So I just take all accountability for what happened. I like to just blame myself and move on.
Then where did it go from there? Like, it was
Then I just kind of floated for a couple of years, and I was always ready. Anytime they threw me a bone, I capitalized. IC title WrestleMania. I mean, that was after the YouTube run. Then back to doing nothing. Then me and Hawkins won the tag team titles at Mania in New York, New Jersey. Well, it was like the pre-show, but I still count it as Mania.
It was
technically Mania.
The sign behind you said WrestleMania.
We got the plaque.
There's a plaque?
Yeah, with the canvas and all that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I can't say I'll send you one because it's mine. But
yeah,
maybe on eBay.
Send me a photo.
I'll send you a photo. Yeah. And then I just floated again until I got fired. But I was always ready, always pitching ideas, always being proactive. But it is what it is. There's so many moving parts in WWE. And there's so many characters. It's a TV show. Not every character on the TV show can be featured. It's just how it is.
When Chelsea got brought back to WWE, did you go, well, were you checking your phone a little more often going?
I mean, especially that time.
It's got to happen.
When all those people got rehired, like, I'm not sure what the prerequisite to getting rehired was. Like, was it doing nothing? Because a lot of the people were doing nothing. And it is what it is. It's just everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different journey. I can't, if the phone rings right now, I will pick it up. It hasn't rang yet, And I hate to say I'm always ready, but I am. Like, if they call today, I'll pick up and we'll have a conversation. Yeah, but they haven't called.
The phone has rang from AEW.
It has a couple times. Yeah,
You've done a few things for
yes,
AEW.
I have, yeah.
The moment with Edge, full circle with Adam Copeland, that was cool.
Career highlight for sure. Having that match with Adam, it was a match I never thought would happen. WrestleMania 24 is my first WrestleMania, and I run in the main event. Me and Hawkins were the Edge heads. We help Edge. Not successfully, but Undertaker chokeslams us. Like, we're in the main event of WrestleMania. And this delusional, naive kid's like, well, next year, WrestleMania, it's going to be the Edge heads explode. Hawkins versus Ryder versus Edge. No, that didn't happen. Hawkins and Ryder were lumberjacks in the tag team pre-show match. You know what I'm saying? And then, Adam eventually gets the unfortunate, career-ending injury. He retires. Then he comes back, and I'm in WWE, but then I get fired. And then he leaves and goes to AEW. I'm like, well, this match could actually happen now because AEW, the Forbidden Door, they're always bringing people in. So he was doing the Cope Open, and I just shot him a text saying basically like, hey, man, if like you ever need an opponent, just please consider me. And he said something like, yeah, I think this story is coming to an end, but if we ever do it again, I'll keep you in mind. I totally forgot about it. A couple months later, got the call. Can you show up Saturday? I had to cancel my match with Ultimo Dragon, but but yes, I was there. And it was an absolute dream match.
What do you do when the calendar says you're booked?
Well, I mean, this is one that you have to cancel. I always, stay committed to my dates, but this is my dream match. There's nothing that's going to stand in the way of that.
Yeah, and for a long time, that match felt impossible.
Right.
Like Edge versus anyone was impossible.
Right. And that match, it was so special for so many reasons, like teacher versus student, Edge versus Edgehead, but like a match I really thought would never happen. And that was my dream match before I even got into the business. I always wanted to wrestle Edge, like whatever my name was going to be against Edge. That was always my dream match. And then just coming out that night and the crowd like chanting like, holy shit, like it made me feel like, oh my God, like everything I've been doing on the indies, like people have been recognizing it. It's working. And, I didn't win, unfortunately, but like just being in that match was the win. And all like, I'm not going to say all the compliments he gave me afterwards, but like him complimenting me, like seeing that he was proud, man, nothing beats that.
Yeah. So now you had more with AEW.
Yeah. So then I go away for a couple months and then I got a call like, hey, you interested in working Chris Jericho at Hammerstein Ballroom? Let me think about it. Again, one of my childhood idols. He was on my birthday cake when I was in ninth grade. Like I love Chris. As a performer, I look up to Chris. So to wrestle Chris, we had a whole program, and for Ring of Honor, I had to do it. Another dream match.
Yeah, why didn't that turn into more? Like
I don't know.
You have a match for the Ring of Honor World Championship,
yes,
and that's it.
That's it. I don't know, man. Dave Meltzer reported that I got offered a contract, but I did not. So I don't know what happened.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you got offered a contract from AEW, would you take it?
If it made sense. I don't want to be anywhere just to be a guy on the roster. And I know there's no guarantees in pro wrestling,
Yeah.
but I need like intent, like we see you doing this, or we envision you being, here, I don't want to just collect a check. I kind of been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you wouldn't have the freedom to do what you're doing now.
No, and listen, I still have a great relationship with AEW. Like, for instance, our toy company Major, we work with Jazzwares, their company. We have an exclusive figure coming out. Smart Mark Sterling, AEW guy. We're making his Jazzwares AEW figure, like separate from like our toy company.
Yeah.
So like, I still have a great relationship with all them.
When you were paired with Edge in WWE, were you traveling with him at that time?
Not really. A few times we did, but me and Hawkins, we were like riding with like Jesse and Festus, and like we were doing some just stupid things young guys do. Staying out all night, what I'm saying?
I think that laugh says it all. But when you talk about teacher-student relationship,
the stuff I learned from him, like he's putting together these matches. Okay, a WrestleMania main event match. Me and Brian, we're sitting there in the rehearsal, just listening. And then every single night, we'd have a tag match on these live events. We'd always have a tag match, and then we'd be out there with Edge, like being his manager, and like we have this front row seat to watching the world champion wrestle guys like Undertaker, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair. Like we're like learning from the greats. It's a lesson that like I don't know if anyone can recreate the things that we learned.
What are the things you were learning then that you still apply now?
It's how to be a star, to slow down. Even back then I knew that it was about like the moments and not necessarily the moves. Just storytelling. And one thing I always tell the guys and girls in the indies, like, it's hard because like you want to keep going because like you're not on TV, but I was on TV. So I practiced that, like, I'm pretending there's a camera here and then on that opponent's face and there's commentary. So like, I use like fake commentary in my head to slow me down in these indies matches. I try to teach that to the guys and girls. Like, this is a story. Pretend it's on TV, So pretend there's all these camera angles. Pretend the commentators are putting you over, telling your story.
What's the smallest crowd you've wrestled in since being released?
Oh my, smallest? I mean, I've done some bad ones. I did one at like some fair. I'm like, I joke with Heath Slater. He's going to hate me for this. But like, I'm the indie god and he's the shindy god. He thinks like, and there's nothing wrong with taking these bookings, but sometimes don't post about them. You know what I'm saying? But there was one in particular, I don't want to throw the company under the bus, but it was like at some fair and I won the title, like at some fair. And I dropped to my knees, like Shawn Michaels style, like on the grass, on the grass. And it was so ridiculous. Like, I got to post this, it's like, like I got to like, I'm literally winning a title at some fair, that's probably my worst one.
And like, not everybody at the fair is a wrestling fan and they're going, what the heck is this thing?
That might be my worst one.
There's probably like horse riding going on over in this section of the fair. And
God forbid it rained, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it did?
No, it didn't, but like, what if it did, right? Yeah.
But you're doing it.
I'm doing everything. The good shows, the bad shows, everything.
And I think the thing that is most impressive about what you've done over the last 5 years is you've embraced the grind.
You have to, man. Like, listen. Like,
but you don't have to.
I have to.
You could go, I'm only going to do 3 bookings a month.
Oh, my God.
They got to be good ones.
I have 3 this weekend.
Yes,
literally. That's no exaggeration.
Wow.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's 3.
Yeah.
There it is.
But it would be so easy to go, I'm only doing these cities or these shows or whatever,
I can't do it. Like, I know that if I'm not out there, if I'm not promoting myself, who's going to do it? If I was in WWE and let's say like I wanted to, I'm going to get off my phone this week. Okay, well, WWE's account's going to post about you. The Netflix account's going to post about you. The shop is going to post about you. If I don't post about me, who's posted about me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to shove it down everyone's throats what I'm doing because I know everyone's not watching what I'm doing, like literally watching the match. They're seeing what I'm doing. I'm literally forcing it down their throats. It's going to come up in their feed. They're going to see it. They're going to know what I'm doing.
Getting a great night's sleep is one of life's finest luxuries. You got to check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. They're inspired by NASA, and they have silver infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Also, say goodbye to those gross odors. Because they're infused with silver, they prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, so that means you get fresher sheets up to 3 times longer. Miracle sheets are so comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and they feel just as good as sheets you'd have in a 5-star hotel. If you've tried everything else, try Miracle. Upgrade your sleep this year by going to trymiracle.com/CVV. And whether you're buying them for yourself or you're buying them as a gift for a loved one, you're already going to save over 40% if you order today. But if you use the code CVV at checkout, you'll get an additional 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel kit. That's trymiracle.com/CVV.
Where did this work ethic come from? Where did this get instilled from?
I think I just always had, especially with that YouTube show back in the day. Like, I just knew I wanted more. I was in WWE. I was living the dream, so to speak, the dream job. But like, I wanted to be more than just this guy who was already in the ring from commercial break. I wanted to be a star. And for a time period in WWE, I felt like a star. I'll never forget like walking into like a Kmart back when there was Kmarts. After that YouTube run, there was like, it was like a back to school calendar. It had me, CM Punk, and John Cena on it. I'm like, I'm on the calendar. Like, you know, like this is great.
That was like, I've made it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the
it was
moment.
a folder. It was a folder. It was not a calendar, a folder. You know, like one of those like back to school folders.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm on the fold, the cover of the fold. 3 guys.
Yeah.
Me, Cena, CM Punk. I think I made it.
Did you know you were going to be on that?
No, it's just one of those random, because at that time.
That's cool.
Yeah, because when you're at a certain level in WWE, they just throw your face on everything. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I collect all my own stuff. And it's kind of easy to keep track of the Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona stuff. But like, how does John Cena or CM Punk or Rey Mysterio or Cody Rhodes keep track? If they were a collector, they'd be screwed.
Like, I've heard Jericho tell the story of how Gene Simmons has every Kiss thing ever made. Yeah. And it's like an entire, I don't know how big the room is, but like literally everything
I'm
is
trying
in
to do
room.
that for Matt and / Zach. I'm trying. I don't have it all displayed, but I have it.
This is why you're building a whole new house.
I am. Well, there is going to be a big toy room, but it's not going to be all Matt and Zach stuff.
Then how do you straddle the line of like, I'm collecting this stuff and it's not a shrine to myself?
Oh, because that stuff's not on display. You know, that stuff's just in the tote in the garage. There's some things that are on display, like my titles are on display, my action figures. I don't think that's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with displaying the stuff. Like, you think Michael Jordan doesn't have his cool stuff up? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, have you seen Michael Jordan's house that's been for sale forever in Chicago?
I've not seen it.
Like the gates have 23 on it. Everything's personalized, which is why they can't sell the house.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't have everything up. Just I have the belts, you know, the titles, the figures. I have a painting of me and my dad hugging a WrestleMania hung up. Other than that, you know, all the stuff's like put away, but I have it.
Have you been to DDP's office in his house?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm inspired by it.
It's great.
And Fluffy, have you ever been at Fluffy's compound out here?
No, I've never been there.
It's the same thing. Like it's every great moment in your career, every big celebrity you've met.
That is cool.
Printed out, hung on the wall.
I think there's a picture of me in DDP's office.
There is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is. And the cool thing is like you walk into that room and if you're not DDP, you look around and you go, oh wow, like what a life he's lived. If you are DDP, you look around and go, what a life I've lived.
I see both sides. I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud of what you did.
Yeah.
You know, like we've lived this life, we chose this path. Like if you're successful and there's all different levels of success, like why not be proud of it? You know what I'm saying?
Who's the person or what's the moment where you've been like, I can't believe because of what I do for a living, I got to meet this person or do this thing?
I'm not big into like meeting celebrities. I've met a couple through WWE and stuff like that. I just think that like, you know, I can wake up whenever I want on a Tuesday and you know, like walk into this toy room of all these toys. And then some of those I made, you know, some of them are figures of me. Some of them are figures of my hot wife, you know, like, seriously, like as a teenager, I had posters of these WWE divas on my wall. I'm literally married. They're not called divas anymore, but I'm married to one. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to envision what they look like naked. I know what one looks like naked. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
That's not living the dream. I don't know what is.
Hey man, I'd like to shake your hand.
Thank you, sir.
Good stuff. Congratulations. You're living your dream.
I'm living the dream, baby. I'm sweating now. Chelsea's going to kill me for saying that.
She's going to be proud of you, isn't she?
She's very proud of me.
We'll tag her as a collaborator on that clip.
Okay.
She'll accept it, right? Right? Will you?
Yeah, and I think another reason why, back to why I'm so successful, is that I'm so authentic and transparent and I have no filter. Like what you see is what you get. And not saying everything I say is right or wrong, but it's like, this is it. This is how I feel. This is like, wrestling is my love, my passion. I'm a big kid at heart. I love Disney, love Universal, love toys. Take it or leave it, And then in the ring, ask a couple of guys, I'll stiff you. I'm a hard-hitting son of a bitch.
All of that was so well said.
Well, thank you.
You were going viral, making people notice you with your YouTube show back then.
Yes.
What do you think is different about going viral and getting noticed now? There's so much more noise now.
I think, social media, it's this free tool. It's free advertisement. If a wrestler, especially independent wrestler, is not using it, what the fuck are you doing, right? Double-edged sword, it's free for everybody. How are you going to stand out, right? So it's a lot harder to stand out. But also now, like the algorithm, like you could start today. If you have a hot piece of content, you could take off. You don't need X amount of followers and a percentage of those followers will see it.
Yeah.
With the algorithm now, the TikTok style, you put something out that's good, people will see it.
Yeah. TikTok especially. You could have 16 followers and get 1 million views.
Yeah.
So if you're just continuing to feed this content machine, how do you know when something's good?
The numbers don't lie. There's things that I think are great.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's things that I just put up, 100,000 views.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily make things to go over. I just share everything, and I'm just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I feel like me and you have a very similar content strategy.
Yeah.
Like I post 10 to 15 times a day on Instagram.
Sure.
And I just throw all the spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
1 or 2 pieces hopefully sticks. Like that clip that you were talking about, marrying a diva, marrying Chelsea Green.
That's going to be a good one.
That's a viral clip.
Please collab me about that.
I got you.
But when people come to me for advice on the indies and I say, you got to post on social media, I do. There was one, I'm going to throw him under the bus. Joe Alonzo is his name. Great kid. I'm going to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
I hope, Joe.
I know Joe well.
I hope they slice a fire under your ass. He said, I post a lot. I said, give me your phone. I opened up a social media. He hadn't posted 3 or 4 days. What do you mean you post a lot? You posted 3 or 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, and in those 3 or 4 days, you've posted, 10, 20 times?
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Listen, I wish I didn't have to. I wish I wasn't on my phone 24/7. But like I said earlier, if I'm not doing it, I can't rely on anyone else to do it.
It's so funny. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this all the time. I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to put all the information out there. I'm going to make it free because I know 99% of you aren't going to do it.
Right. For sure.
And that's exactly what you do. I see these seminars.
Yeah.
That content you've been putting out recently, where it's like you talking in a seminar and you clip it out.
Yeah, I'm about to do that again, actually, because I think I ran through all those clips. But yes.
It's brilliant. You're giving this invaluable advice for free.
Right, for free. Well,
and
those students actually paid for it.
Well, you're getting... But everybody online gets it for free.
But, listen, I always get asked, can you do a seminar? And I was like, I'm not going to teach someone how to chain wrestle. A, because I'm probably not good at it, And B, because I don't care about that stuff. I'm not passionate. It would be a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? I would do it. I get paid, but there's nothing inside me that wants to teach you how to do a hammerlock.
Sure.
Right? But there was one in Orlando, House of Champions. They finally got me to cave and said, I'll do it. I'm not bumping, not because I don't want to bump. It's because I want to teach these guys and girls about everything else, about the business side of the wrestling business. And I just did a 2 or 3 hour Q&A, and that's where those clips came from. And man, it was that lit a fire under my ass. I'm like, okay, I like this. I love coaching these topics. I don't want to teach you how to do an Irish whip. You know what I'm saying? And nothing, you need that stuff. Go to Creative Pro. Let Brian Myers, the best trainer in the world, and I mean that in all seriousness, go there and learn how to wrestle and the footwork and the fundamentals. I'm not going to teach you that stuff.
But when it comes to the other side of it, the business side of it, I can't think of anybody who's doing it better than you.
Listen, and I thank you. I'm not saying I'm the best by any means. I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker, but who works harder?
I don't know anybody who has the consistency on social media that you do. Other than maybe, I'm in a completely different category, but I guess, I'm putting out that much content.
And look at your numbers don't lie. Look at how many YouTube clicks you got. You know what I'm saying?
I got a few now.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
See?
And it's
hard work pays off.
And the thing I always think about, whenever anybody asks me for advice, I'm like, just be consistent.
Right.
Like you just said, it's free.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you want to put out as much content as you can possibly put out there?
And also, I say this all the time too, it's you can't, this wrestling business, and I don't mean this in a negative way. it will chew you up and spit you out. It doesn't owe you anything. You can't just love this business when things are going great, when you're on top, when you're on TV, when you're winning titles. You got to love this business when it fucking sucks. You got to love it when you're not being used, when you're injured, when things aren't going your way. Because guess what? When you get thrown a bone or something happens, you're going to appreciate a lot much more. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
You got to love it. Like, eat, breathe, shit, wrestling. You got to love it. Like, through the good and the bad.
And it feels like, to me, there's two types of people that are signed to a major contract. There's the people who are that are two types of unhappy people that aren't being used. There's one that goes, well, I'm here. I'm still here.
Yep.
At least I'm getting paid every 2 weeks. I'm getting that amount of money in my bank account. Then there's the other people that go, man, I'm getting paid that much, but I'm not happy here and I want to do more.
Right.
And like, those are, I think, are the people that ask for a release.
Sure. And listen, I see both sides of it. Like, it ain't like, this is a wrestling bit. It's about money, right? So I see both sides. Like, if you're not getting used but getting paid, that's great. I'm not wired that way. You know, like, I want to be used. I want to creatively be fulfilled. I want to be happy. I want to do all these things. So being on the independents, having all these different avenues and having my hands in so many different things, like, man, it's been so much fun. It's been so rewarding on so many different levels.
Is there anybody on the indies you still haven't worked?
I'm not sure there's tons of people, but like.
But is there somebody on like the bucket list?
I have no more dream matches. Like, I wrestled Edge and Macho Man's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's the truth. You know, my dream match is which one's going to make me the most money. But no, in all seriousness, like, I would love to, you know, Cody, you know, or Cena, or listen, I pitched Cena to wrestle me at Hammerstein Ballroom, GCW, like, because I had this a mystery opponent. I reached out. I threw the Hail Mary, you know. Obviously, he couldn't do it, but I tried.
But you went back and forth with him about it?
It was a back and forth.
A question and a response.
A question and a response, but I tried. Because I knew, like, I need an opponent for Hammerstein Ballroom. What if it's Cena? You know,
could you imagine
plus him coming back?
Yeah,
for that, you know, because if Cena wins, we riot. You know,
of course,
didn't happen. Wasn't in the car. Wasn't meant to be. But hey, we got some time left.
Yeah, from now until December,
we got some time left.
That would have been unbelievable.
Wasn't meant to be.
Could you imagine hearing John Cena's music in GCW?
Would have been nuts.
Wow.
Instead, they got Tommy Invincible.
Well, similar, right? Yeah, that guy's crushing it.
He is the best. He's somebody. I can't believe I'm giving him more free press here, but he is again, viral moment.
Nobody's watching my show.
He busts his ass. You know, I'm sure you've seen him.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
He gives it all, and he does the shows with nobody there, and he's giving Invincible. I'm like, this guy is great. I'm like, if somebody is going to leech off this guy, I'm going to be the first to do it. But since then, you know, I got him that Hammerstein Ballroom thing, and he handled it so well. Like, the people were shitting on him, they were booing him, but he just soaked it in, and he let him. And then I just brought him into Vegas. I think it was his first flight ever to be a guest on our live podcast. He did the same entrance, you know, for this podcast about wrestling. He comes in trunks, full gear, Invincible, like no pop. And he sits down, like, oh man, thank you guys for that great response. And I'm like, oh my God. He's such a great kid. Such a great guy.
What does he need to get to that next level?
I think he's going to get there. I mean, everyone's talking about him. See, Triple H talked about him.
Yeah.
McAfee talked about him.
Didn't Cena post about him?
Cena posted about him.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's only a matter of time.
I think you're right.
That's right, baby.
It's kind of like when you see the band before they get the radio single.
Yes.
That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
So no more, like when you look at the people who are available to be indie wrestlers, people you could bring out of retirement and have a moment with, you've done them all?
I just don't think about it in that way. Like, I think about like money.
I'm seeing a theme here.
Well, no, because like what match is going to be the biggest box office attraction in that way? Like, what's going to create the most buzz? You know, like.
But if you're in a small town in you know, some state, what does it matter? Like,
sure,
you're going to get X amount of people no matter what, don't you think?
I do think there's something to like maybe revisiting one day the Nick Gage thing.
Okay.
Another death match with Nick Gage, but the money and the buzz, the circumstances have to be right. I don't want to just do another death match to do another death match, but that match, it changed my career, it changed my life. The original death match, really the only one that I've done, people say all the time, like, oh man, I love all your death matches. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, bro. The one. But I've worked the whole wrestling world into thinking I'm this deathmatch wrestler because I had one. The way I, you know, capitalized on it, call myself the deathmatch king, wearing the crown.
Branding is
I had one. Listen, I've done some other like violent things or street fights, whatever. But the true death match, I've had one. You probably thought I had a bunch.
No, I know you had one.
Just one.
But I'm fascinated by branding.
Yeah.
So if you call yourself something and you start to believe it yourself,
And I do believe it.
everybody else will
That's
too.
right.
And it doesn't take long.
No.
Like if you start to do it for a few weeks, months,
Right.
that's
Perception is reality. I used to hate that saying, but it's
it is
true.
so true.
It's true.
It is so true. So whatever you want to call yourself, if I want to call myself the interview king,
Right.
and I say it enough times,
Right.
I'm the interview king.
I'm going to shove the complete down everyone's throat. You know what I'm saying?
The complete Matt
Like,
Cardona.
I make sure, even like as simple as when an announcer's like, oh, how much you weigh? Like, what's your height? Make sure it's the complete, like everywhere, you know, on all my socials, like the announcers, my merch, everything.
You could
It's
have
on my gear.
You could have the Jerry Maguire catchphrase.
Show me the money.
That's not him.
What's from the movie?
Yeah. You complete me.
Oh, man. Chelsea Green, you complete
There
me.
it Show me the money. Seems to be the theme here.
I mean, listen, I would do this for free. I heard Christian Cage say, I would do this for free. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like, I'm truly living my dream in so many ways. The wrestling. Yeah, I was a kid, and I wasn't even a kid. I was in high school still playing with these wrestling figures, you know, having my fig fed.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'm getting paid to talk about them. I'm getting paid to make them. You know, making legends who either like haven't had a figure in years or never had a figure. Or people just got released. Now I'm giving them away to make money. So I'm giving them, you know, getting them a payday. And then when they go to these conventions, they're signing, making even more money. So like, not that I like giving back, but like, it does feel good to give back, you know?
Christian actually told that story on my podcast.
That's where he said it, yeah.
And it was so brilliant. And for anybody who hasn't seen the episode, I'll sum it up here. He was explaining to a radio DJ what he did.
Right,
And the radio DJ goes, oh, it sounds like you get paid to do the thing you would have done for free.
right.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
How I think about this all the time. And you know, I love gratitude. I say to my wife every day, not only how lucky am I that I found her and like we're the perfect match and she's the best thing that's ever happened to me. How lucky am I that I get to do this for a living?
Right, yes.
Like sit and share a conversation with somebody who has been there and done it and is at the top of their game. Like how lucky am I that I just get to like learn from that person
Right.
and share this conversation?
At the same time, it's not luck. You worked your ass off for it.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing of like it's preparation meets like,
Yeah, opportunity, hard
Yeah,
work. There's
right.
so many things that go into it, you know?
yeah. And that's you. You are that personified.
Right.
And I'm sure you're aware of this, but it's the idea that like you're in the position that you're in because you've worked your ass off.
Yeah, you know, and I joke and I call myself like the self-made superstar where, you know, but the fans got me here, you know, whether it be the YouTube show and they supported me when they really shouldn't have. You know, even that WrestleMania match, like I'm just the ladder match, I'm just thrown in there. And the moment, you know, winning was cool, but the moment wouldn't have been special if they like didn't care that I won. Place went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And they had no reason to believe in me. They saw my career go down the toilet, get pushed off the stage in a wheelchair, do nothing for years. But that night, they believed in me. And now this post-WWE run, they're supporting me again. You know, whether it's new fans, old fans, it's just crazy going to these shows or even, you know, whether it be a fan who grew up watching or like a wrestler who grew up watching. You know, it's like, it's wild to hear these stories. And like, without the fans, I'd be nothing. So yes, I joke in character, say I'm the self-made superstar. And yes, I do believe like a lot of the stuff I have done on my own, but without the fans, I'd be nothing.
I think you can make an argument that you laid down a blueprint for someone like Joe Hendry, who just kept chipping away, kept getting over and over and over with the fans so big that TNA couldn't ignore him.
Sure.
And now he's the TNA world champion.
I say this all the time. Like when someone comes up and they ask for like, I just started wrestling. Like, do you have any advice? Yeah. Don't quit. That's it. Because it's not over until you quit. When you quit, then it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, like, do I wish I was somewhere else? Maybe. Right. But it's like, I'm not there yet and not there yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't achieved everything I want yet.
Yeah.
And it's not over until I quit. When I say it's over, then I never achieved that thing. But I'm not throwing in the towel yet.
Yeah. Do you think about how much longer you want to do this?
Until the wheels fall off. I love it. And I feel like, listen, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. I feel like I'm not missing a beat, you know? Do I do the most acrobatic, technical, stuff. No. But like, I'm the same wrestler I was when I was 18. Well, like I'm still moving the same. Of course, I've grown and gotten better and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm at the top of my game in the ring. I don't care like who I'm in the ring with. I feel like I bring out the best in them. And like, this is going to sound ridiculous, but when Jericho and I were having that little AEW thing, he compared me to Bret Hart. I was like, that's pretty ridiculous. But I'm like, you know what? Like, that's a great compliment because I feel like Bret Hart could have a match with anybody and could adapt to anyone's style. And listen, I'm not saying I'm as good as Bret Hart because I know this is going to turn into Matt Cardona says he's as good as Bret. No, I don't think I'm as good as Bret Hart, the best there ever is, But like, I do feel like I can adapt to any style, whether it be a high flyer or a deathmatch guy or just anybody. I can have a great match with anybody. I feel like that's one of my best qualities.
Do you take care of yourself differently or train differently now?
Not as well as I should. Sorry, DDP. I'm not doing that DDPY every day like I should.
I think about it. I should be doing that way more often.
The recovery, the stretching. My body is my tool and we're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've had some injuries. Knock on wood. I don't know if it's real wood.
It is.
Hopefully no more injuries,
I'll knock
right?
too.
You can't always prevent. You do whatever you can to, you can't prevent an injury. Like when I tore my pec, I threw a clothesline, a move I've done literally thousands of times. This one,
Did you know immediately?
Immediately. It was the worst. It was for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. Nobody's fault. I was wrestling Kenny King. Went to clothesline over the top rope. Pop.
Did you hear it?
I felt it. I've never torn my pec before, but I knew I tore my pec. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but afterwards they're trying to rush me to like an ER. I'm like, why am I going to this ER in Texas? Like, I know it's torn. But they're going to go like x-ray it, MRI, tell me it's torn. I have this line for the meet and greet. You know what I'm saying? And yes, like I'm thinking money to be made for me, but I'm thinking these people waited, people came to see me. I'm going to sign for all of them. That's just like how I'm wired.
What was your pain level?
I was a 10.
Oh,
It was. I tore my pec like, right off the bone. It was the best tear because it came right off. And then, believe it or not, like I'm a civilian at the end of the day, right? Independent wrestler, doesn't have, like I have health insurance that I pay for, right? But like, I couldn't get surgery. I couldn't even get in with a doctor. I had to have Chelsea like ask WWE to get me in with a surgeon.
why couldn't you get in?
Because I'm just like Matt Cardona, the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care about me.
But what if
it wasn't life threatening? Tore my pec. You know what I'm saying?
So for most people, how long do they wait to get
Probably
surgery?
weeks.
What?
Yeah.
How do you function?
Good question. Well, I didn't find out because WWE, thank you, WWE, got me in with their doctor in Orlando. I had surgery in a couple of days.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So like if you just have a normal job, you're an accountant or you work in retail.
I think you're screwed, pal.
You're just in a sling?
I think you're screwed, pal.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But then, had the surgery. And again, in my calendar, I don't know if it was a Mickey Mouse because 2024 might have been a different calendar.
Yeah, what was 2024's calendar?
What that was, but it was a Chelsea Green calendar.
Oh my gosh.
That was weird because I'm at the airport and I get an email, like, what, you're available this day. I'm okay. So I get up my calendar and they're like, but it's like Chelsea Green on the beach in a bikini. Like, so kind of, let me cover that up. Let me cover those boobs up. I just got to see
that's my wife, everybody. For real, right. That's my wife.
But I got hurt and I'm like, okay. The doctor said like 6 to 9 months. I said, no fucking way. And I circled a date, a GCW, like their big their WrestleMania every August, homecoming. I circled that day and said, I'm going to be back for that. And I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I watched the Tom Brady documentary years ago. It's like this hidden gem. It's called Tom versus Time on Facebook Watch.
Never seen it.
And they're like 20-minute, it's like 5 or 6 episodes, 20-ish minutes each. But I was just so struck by his recovery and how much time he put into stretching and like massaging and lengthening out the muscles. And I think about this for you guys all the time of like, I think we do a few stretches here and there.
Yes,
and then like,
I don't do enough.
You go in the ring and that's that.
Right.
And like the older you get and like as your career gets on, it's like that stuff's probably more important than anything.
No, like I used to not even like warm up before matches. Now I need a good like hour to stretch, pump up, like get hot, Like and a lot of it's probably mental, but there's a whole routine I do.
Like DDP's 69.
He looks great.
He looks great. He can still hold his leg above his head. And I think that people have this misconception that he's always been that flexible.
Right.
That's not the case.
No.
This is like a learned behavior.
Sure.
Like he figured that out. So I'm with you. I got to do more.
We got to do more. Let's stretch today.
DDPY. Yeah.
I'll do in the alley of the Ukrainian Cultural Center. Actually, there's probably not enough room.
It might be a little cold there too.
Jimmy Lloyd's piss on the floor.
What happens if it's raining?
Good question.
Because it's
outside.
It's drizzling right now.
Oh man.
What do you do?
I'll sit in the car.
You won't have a car.
That's why I'm dropping my car up now. Jesus. I'll figure it out.
What are you going
to? I'm not sitting in the rain.
Will they
I'm messing my hair. Oh, they won't put anything.
They won't put a tarp up for you?
No. This is GCW we're talking about.
I mean,
they don't have ring steps.
GCW is fantastic, though.
It's the number one indie.
By far.
There's no question. It's the number one independent. And they're unlike any other independent because they run everywhere. Not just a couple states. Like I've been all over the world for GCW. Then they still go places that they haven't brought me. They go to Japan, Mexico, England. Like they brought me to my 50th state this year. I went to Hawaii, my 50th state. That was the only one on my list. I went with GCW of all places. You know, so they're the number one indie. I'm sure everybody who got released yesterday is hitting up Brett Lauderdale, politicking to get on. They should be.
Yeah, and I feel
That's
like
the place.
And I feel like the other companies are seeing what GCW is doing.
Sure.
And going, oh, who's that person?
Right.
What are they doing?
Yes.
I've always wanted to ask you about your broski shirt.
The cut.
How do you cut
I
it?
have right here. See?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the broski cut.
Where does it start?
You fold a t-shirt in half. Fold it in half.
Okay. Lengthwise?
Yeah, lengthwise.
Okay.
And then the scissors. So you cut it in half, so it makes both sides even.
Okay. Symmetrical.
Symmetrical. And I want to accentuate my positives. So I want to show the side pec, little last some traps. So you got a deep cut.
Okay.
And then you cut a little here to make the V. And then if I'm gonna wrestle, I cut the bottom off so it's easier to do that. That one of my moveset is I rip the shirt off and choke the guy. So that thing.
Yeah, of course.
Cut that off.
I saw you do it on Thursday.
It's one of my moves. My moveset.
And then your shirt goes in the crowd, right?
Well, I try to tell the ref keep it there because then I can sign it and sell it on Whatnot every Monday 6:30.
You sell some ridiculous things
Actually,
on
I think
Whatnot.
it's 5:30. I've sold some pretty ridiculous things on Whatnot. That's right.
Like, so I was, my buddy Jamil. So when we were at the hotel WrestleMania, I had my note card this of all the notes I was going to have.
You sell that, sign on Whatnot.
Yeah, I just threw it in, I crumple it up, threw it in the trash.
Oh, I can't do that.
And he's like, Matt Cardona would have sold that on Whatnot.
I would have.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
There's a lot of.
Do you want to sell this one on Whatnot? We could both sign it?
Absolutely. I'm not even lying.
My writing is so messy.
That's fine.
Whatnot
is a great revenue stream, and I've it's something I've passed on to a lot of the wrestlers. Right. So what it is, I don't know why I'm plugging Whatnot. Right.
You're plugging everything.
They used to pay me. They don't pay me anymore. But
you make money on that.
It's so good that I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop using it. So what it is, it's like Instagram Live meets eBay. So I'm on every week, and it's like appointment viewing. I can't just if I went on right now, I'd get slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? And I probably 50 or 60 items. 30-second auctions started
50 or 60 items.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Started 99 cents, and the people bid. So it's either ring worn gear. I have my own toy line, so my toys or toys I find on the road. Oh, that's a rare one that I already have. Let me bring that. Or maybe there's a figure and I know I'm going to see. I'm going to run into Matt Hardy, so I buy the figure, get Matt Hardy to sign it, sell it. Or something like this.
Do you have a Sharpie?
Are we doing this live?
Why not? We might as well. People will know it's legit, right?
Yeah.
They can see this is my terrible preparation for.
Is this the first timer, right?
I think. Thank you, Zeus. Zeus at West Coast Creative Studios here.
But then,
should I sign it first or should you?
Sign it first.
Okay.
Yeah, just show.
I'll sign it. I'll sign it right in the meat of all these.
Yeah, that's great.
This is the first time.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put this up yet. I'm going to put it up after the episode drops to get more.
Of course, then we'll know.
That's right.
Okay, so there's mine.
Yeah, I'm going to sign mine right here. Let's see here. And then you can't just write Matt Cardona. You have to write the complete.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
So I should put a.
Well, not necessarily because I just want to get that nickname over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This will go for 99 cents.
Yeah. No, it won't. I bet it goes for at least $99.
What?
I bet. I'll write one of one on it too. So that people like limited stuff.
It is because flip it over. These are your research notes.
Oh, wow.
So
did we get through all the topics?
should we give them both pieces of paper? So this is the potential question.
Yeah, we'll give them both. Yeah,
that my guy typed up here.
Yeah.
Alex Hunt. He's awesome.
Ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Oh man. But it's just another way to make money, right? And that's one of those things, if I was in WWE, I wouldn't be able to do my own Whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least I don't think so.
What's the silliest thing you've sold on there?
Well, sometimes, I'm at a hotel, I'm doing it in a hotel room, and I'll sign the toilet paper or the do not disturb sign. People want it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
What is toilet?
You know what I've done once? This is probably the carniest thing I've done. I've like, you know, my cat's shed, so I like pet my cat, put it in a Ziploc.
Stop it. Do you sign the Ziploc?
I'm not sure if I signed the
Just
Ziploc. Maybe I did.
And do you ship these items out?
I now have my best friend's wife comes and picks it up and ships it out for me every week.
That's a good business.
That's a good business.
Okay. Yeah. Better than you shipping cat hair.
It was just too much, you know? Time is money.
I have realized this.
Yes.
It's funny that when you start off in business, you are willing early on, you're willing to spend your time in order to save money.
Right.
And as you get going, and as things get bigger, you're willing to spend money in order to save time.
You know, like, so
it's funny how that flips on its head.
Right. So like, you know, for our toy business, you know, it's me, Brian Myers, and this guy, Mike Kinnick. He's like the third guy. He's the guy that came to us. He was just a fan of our podcast, fan of us. And, you know, he was making like our foam fingers, our enamel pins. And he's like, I think I can make you guys toys. I said, hey, bro, if you go figure it out in China, we'll cut you in.
Yeah.
Long story short, he did. And now we're a couple years into it. And like, we're not just doing wrestling now. We're doing like right now, if you go to collectmajor.com, we have Stallone, Rambo, like officially licensed.
What?
Yeah. We have kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And we just saw, I hate like hyping stuff up, like stay tuned. I hate doing that, but we just signed something that's going to be like the coolest wrestling crossover, I think, ever for figures. And that's saying, and like, it's a sports and wrestling thing. And I'm not a big sports guy. And even I think this is the coolest thing ever.
How did you get Stallone to say yes, or his people to say yes? Oh, back to the theme of this episode.
Money. But all our, you know, the wrestling figures, all the wrestlers, whether it be, you know, Macho Man's estate or Effie, it's all officially licensed. They're all getting these royalty checks. And it's great, like, because then you're paying them, they're making good money, right? And then they go to these conventions and fans are bringing it to them and they're making more money signing them.
Yeah.
It's a whole business.
Man.
Like me and Brian convinced Bubba Ray to sign his Legends deal. He didn't want to do it. He didn't understand like why he should sign. I said, no one else, you don't own Bubba Ray Dudley. No one else can make Dudley Boy merchandise. So you sign, Mattel will make it, then you'll get paid from Mattel, and then you'll go to these conventions and the fans will bring it to you and you make even more money.
I think there's a lot of legends that go, oh, they're only offering me, and you know how much the offer is. Oh man, that's not very much money for a Legends deal. Right. And they don't understand all the money in the back end.
Picture. You know, especially someone like the Dudley Boys, one of the best tag teams. I can't believe I just said this. One of the best tag teams ever.
You're putting everybody over.
But they're going to make a lot of figures of those.
Yeah, of course.
All different, you know, whether it be Funko Pops, Mattels, whatever.
Sure. Put them in there with the Hardys.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
put them in there with Edge and Christian.
Well, they can't do that because they're in TNA and AEW. You know what I'm saying? You get it. But there's so many different versions. And then they'll go to these conventions forever. Yeah. I'm still signing Zack Ryder figures that came out in 2011.
So did Devon also do the Legends deal?
Yep.
This makes so much sense.
Now, and now Bubba has agreed that we were right. Yeah, he's publicly thanked me. But I just, you know, I'm not trying. I want everyone to make money here. I want everyone to be successful. I want everyone to make as much money as possible. You know, with these wrestling figures, we don't make anyone sign an exclusive deal. If there's another toy company, go sign with them. If someone's going to offer you a Legends deal, sign with us first and then get that Legends deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want everyone to make as much money. We put our bodies on the line here. A lot of those guys were gone. There's so many wrestlers. I was on the road 300 days a year. Nowadays, no one is anymore.
Yeah.
But back then they were, right? So like, let them get the money now for all their hard work.
Would you do an entrance in a DeLorean? You did the...
I actually sent a text today.
And not just a DeLorean. You'd have to do it in a time machine.
It can't just be a DeLorean.
Yeah,
right? So I've done the Ecto one.
Yeah. I've
done the Jurassic Park Jeep.
Yeah.
I think it might be next. It is the 40th anniversary of Matt Cardona and Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's true.
It might have to happen.
No, DeLorean Rental on Instagram has.
I got a couple places in New York. Although, here's a funny story. So last year I used for GCW for their homecoming show. I did the Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah.
So I had like a Jurassic Park inspired outfit, which by the way, I did something that was never before done. I did with this company, Super 7. We teamed up. We planned the figure in advance. So as I came out, there was a lower third on an indie show. Get the figure now. It dropped in the gear I'm wearing. It's never been done before. Ever.
Brilliant.
Came out in the Jurassic Park Jeep, and then like just made some contacts with them. And I'd already used them or someone they knew for the Ecto 1. And months later, for that Jericho match, Hammerstein Ballroom, AEW came to me and said, hey, like Jericho's going to do an elaborate New York entrance. You have anything in mind? I'm like, yeah, let me get the Ecto 1 and drive from the firehouse. And they're like, okay. I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, well, actually, I know an Ecto 1 guy. So the night before Hammerstein, I'm there at the firehouse with all the camera guys, dressed in my Ghostbuster gear. Ecto One, no shows. No shows. Broke down, car trouble. I don't know if that's true, but so yeah, no Ecto One entrance. But I still like came out with the gear the next night. But yeah, it didn't work out that night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, the time machine.
Time machine.
It's going to be badass. Fill it with the smoke on the
I
inside.
think we're gonna have to do something.
Open the DeLorean door.
I don't want to spoil, a potential entrance, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the Future inspired. Just in case there's a figure or merchandise. You can't use the logos. You can't use the IP. You gotta be smart about these things.
you know it all.
That's right.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for all the business lessons during
This has been
this.
a wild combo, huh?
This has been great.
Chelsea's gonna kill me.
She's going to love
Did
that.
I say anything bad? No, I didn't say anything bad.
I don't think
No,
so.
No.
What could you have said
I
that was
don't know.
bad?
Listen, I think this was a great interview. I love talking to you because it's just a conversation. It's
Yeah,
not like
I love having you on.
You were always ready. You had some questions, but you're not like, reading off my Wikipedia like so many others do. It's a genuine conversation. You don't know what's coming next. So I appreciate that.
Well, it's also our fifth, I think.
Is it? It's at least 3 or 4. Yeah.
I think it's fifth.
Yeah.
So we got to do something
Sure.
different every time.
Yes, that's right.
Maybe it's the fourth.
Yeah. Do you know I won the Intercontinental at WrestleMania?
Did you?
Oh,
Ah,
boy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what question I'm going to ask now.
Yeah.
What are 3 things you're grateful for?
Oh, I think it's going to be the same ones I said last time. Because every morning I actually say 5 things I'm grateful for.
Ooh.
So I beat you there.
I do many. Throughout the day, I'm just like,
No, like I'm definitely.
I'm so grateful I get to record in the studio.
There's a fireplace here. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. There's a fireplace.
West Coast
Real-
Creative
real-
Studio.
Real fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Grateful for Chelsea. Like she's my best friend. She's so supportive. She's also very hot. But seriously, like I love her. Like we can go out and have like a night on the town or just sit on the couch with the dogs. Like it's the best time. So grateful for her.
You guys together are just the most fun, most goofy couple.
I think, like it writes itself. Like we should be doing something on television, whether it be like in wrestling or like some sort of reality driven thing, like it just writes itself. Maybe one day that'll happen. So I'm definitely grateful for her, grateful for my family, always being supportive. They're healthy. This month they're coming down to Orlando. So I'm going to see all of them. I'm going to take them to Disney World, the Matt Cardona way, you know what I'm saying? The good way, because there's ways to do Disney. There's ways to not do Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like when people say like, oh, I hate Disney. I'm like, yeah, because you wait on lines and you don't know what you're doing. You're not planning it.
What do you mean?
Like I plan it. I listen to all the podcasts. I know all the tips, all the tricks,
So like if I want to get on Space Mountain.
Well, are you rope dropping? Or are you at it?
Wow,
I
okay.
got to plan your whole day for you.
Okay.
If you just go in the middle of the afternoon and wait online on the standby line, you're going to get screwed. You got to plan it.
What's your first ride?
Well, what park are we talking? Are we rope dropping? There's so many.
Okay,
We have another podcast.
Magic Kingdom.
Ooh, I'd probably rope drop Tron. Rope drop means you're there as they're like letting you in. You race over.
Do you actually run or just a speedy
well,
walk?
now I live there, so if I don't go on Tron, I'll go on it next week or something.
Do you not go on weekends?
I go on weekends sometimes.
Oh, okay.
I'm usually not home on weekends.
That's true.
Like Tuesday and Wednesday are my weekends.
Animal Kingdom.
Ooh, Pandora, the Flight of Passage.
Of course.
For sure. Yeah.
Epcot.
Guardians of the Galaxy,
Okay.
the Cosmic Rewind. Have you done that?
No.
Best coaster.
I haven't done that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not like a roller coaster high five guy where it's like, great coaster, man. Like I want some theming. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't Six Flags, pal.
Hollywood Studios.
Rise of the Resistance, Star Wars.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's like you're in the movie.
Yeah, and it's such a long ride,
It's
too.
so long. Yeah, it's great.
They don't call them rides, right?
attractions.
Attractions.
So yeah,
'cause they're
so
long.
I'm going to take my brothers, my parents separately. So I'm just so grateful for that. My family always so supportive,
California Adventure.
I love the Guardians ride there, like the old school Tower of Terror.
All right.
Spider-Man's okay.
Soren.
Soren?
So
First?
fun. Yeah, it's classic.
No,
it's not first. Classic.
Classic. It's not, it ain't first, pal. No. Yeah, Chelsea and I, we once started, when she was released, we temporarily did a theme park podcast, but it almost led to our divorce. I'm kidding about the divorce, but we were like butting heads, arguing, because I was taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
She's like texting Deanna the whole time. I'm like we're going to this is serious business. Anyway, so my family, grateful for my career. I've been doing this for 21 years. And it's wild. Like we just had WrestleMania and I was thinking like, I think that was my 18th year being paid to go to WrestleMania week. Now, obviously I wasn't wrestling on WrestleMania, but a lot of money at WrestleCon. I was there 18th year being paid to go to where all of these wrestling fans all around the world paying to go. And at the end of the day, I'm just a wrestling fan who grew up loving this and not taking no for an answer. And I think if anything, that's the thing I'm most proud of in my career, like not taking no for an answer and just working my fucking ass off until it happened.
Yeah.
And some things haven't happened yet. And hopefully I make them happen. But the fact that I get to, put on this little underwear, right? And then talk about little plastic men in their underwear and then make rubber men in their underwear. Is that not living the dream, man?
And what a perfect way to end this. Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy.